Let's start with what is happening. As of July 17, 2026, Sonam Wangchuk is on a hunger strike at Jantar Mantar in Delhi. It is the day 20. Doctors are warning that long fasting could start harming his organs. The country is watching because a life is now at risk. Before we judge, praise, or take sides, we need to understand the situation clearly. Why is he fasting? The protest is about NEET exam problems, accountability from the Education Ministry, help for affected families, and constitutional safeguards for Ladakh. These are serious issues. They affect students, public trust, and Ladakh's future. This did not start suddenly. There were earlier protests, marches, talks, and detentions, and years of unanswered demands. When normal speech gets no reply, the body becomes the message. That is the context now we can think. At first glance, a hunger strike looks peaceful. No one is hit, no one is attacked. There is only a person, an empty plate, and refusal to eat. That is a simple picture, and many people stop there. They call it courage, sacrifice, and nonviolence. But one more step is needed. Here is the question our philosophy begins with. If someone says, listen to me or watch me die, is that still non-violence or is it pressure? This is not an attack on Sonam Wangchuk and it is not a dismissal of his demands. It is a question about the method, not the cause. We can respect the person and still ask, is every form of protest automatically right just because the cause is serious? Caring for someone does not mean we stop thinking. Now we go a level deeper. There are two kinds of pressure. First, someone threatens to hurt another person unless they agree. We call that violence. Second, someone threatens to keep hurting himself unless the other side agrees. The direction has changed, the pressure did not. The other side is trapped. Agree or feel guilty for a death. If the government replies because it understands the issue, that is dialogue. If it only replies because it fears blame for a death, that is pressure, not understanding. A demand can be right, pain can be real, but a right demand does not make every method right. A good cause does not make every method good. Students deserve answers when the exam system fails them. Ladakh deserves a real hearing on representation, land, environment, and constitutional safeguards. And the person raising these issues deserves to stay alive. We can support the cause and still care about his life. Both matter. Now look at the other side. Government silence is also a choice. When peaceful protest gets no real reply, people learn a bad lesson and only crisis works. A government does not have to accept every demand, but it should listen. Listening is not a surrender. And there is one more problem. We, the public, turn suffering into content. We share clips, count the days, and praise the courage while the body gets weaker. Without noticing, we turn a living person into a sacrifice. Political groups like that. A living voice is harder to use than a dead symbol. So, what should we do with this thinking? Do not only cheer the fast, do not call the faster a troublemaker or walk away. Read the demands, check the facts, ask elected leaders for clear answers. Support peaceful legal action, keep medical help ready, demand open talks from both sides. Do not leave the whole fight on one body. If thousands raise the question, one person should not have to risk his health for it. A strong movement does not need its leader to die. It spreads. It, it stays informed. It becomes hard to ignore. Ending a fast is not always a surrender. Changing a dangerous method can be wisdom. The fight can continue through courts, parliament, meetings, peaceful marches, journalism, elections, and steady organization. Here is the conclusion. A hunger strike forces attention because it puts a life on the line. But a democracy should not need a person to approach death before it listens. Care about the cause, care about a person's life. Demand dialogue before the harm becomes permanent. Don't ask how much a person can suffer. Ask why the system needed suffering before it listened. Do not ask for a sacrifice, ask for a living voice. The empty plate has already spoken. Now people and power must talk to each other.